everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer. Today we're going to be trying out the new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I still don't know if I have this in the right shade, but we're going to try it out today. So if you're interested in seeing that, just stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm sorry I was laughing in my intro, but I have ordered, okay, so this is 2 neutral. I've also ordered 3 cool, but it's somewhere on a truck somewhere. Don't know. So it's coming. I was going to wait for it to come and like try these different, but I was just like, it's going to take too long. I don't even know when I'm going to get it, if I'm going to get it. So we're going to try out the 2 neutral. I've tried it. It seems a little deep for me, which is kind of interesting. So I might just need the 1. We're about to find out. Okay, brought you in a little bit closer. If you've been following this foundation, if you will, if you've been, watching people talk about it, it has been tricky to figure out the shade that you are unless you're going in person to get shade matched. I do technically have that option. I could go to my local Nordstrom or Sephora and pick it up, but I'm trying not to go into too many places lately. So I ordered it, and I said I ordered 3 cool as well. So when I get that one, I will also try it out. And I know what you're gonna say. You're like, well, if 2 is too deep for you, then 3 is too deep for you as well. I'm like, I'm not so sure, because I've seen, frankly, shades that are, quote, supposedly, like, in other words, 4, 5, and 6. And depending on the undertone, it can actually look lighter. So we'll see. So this is the pump. There we go. Okay. It's pretty thick. Creamy. I think this is going to be okay, but again, we'll find out. So it comes in this tube. It looks a lot like, to me, the Estee Lauder. When you look at them very quickly, you can't even tell the difference. Gold cap and everything. Right? I mean, don't those look like eerily similar? Yeah. And the Fenty Beauty. So I'll do a little comparison with those 2 on my hand so we can see what we think of the consistency. Let's see. It says, Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation for your best healthy looking skin day every day. Skin looks more radiant by up to 285%. I'm not exactly sure how they measure that, but okay. Long lasting and pollution defense. I never know how to do that. Anyway, it says it boosts hydration up to 166%. Skin looks plumper and smoother by up to 181%. And skin looks more even by up to 210%. All right. Blend outwards from the center of your face for natural looking coverage. So we're going to try it. I will try a brush and a sponge. I forgot to, 1 second, I'll get the sponge. I'm still in the process of putting together my studio up here, so things aren't exactly where they're supposed to be. All right, so let's put this on. I don't have anything on my face at the moment. I have a moisturizer, because I always have moisturizer on my face, but I didn't put anything else down, like no primer or anything like that, because while we're trying this out, I thought it would be best to try it out, see what happens. All right, so that's about a pump. Here we go. Sponge. I'll do sponge on this side. Okay, that's this side. What do you guys think of the shade match? I think it's pretty good. I think 2 is the right shade. We'll see what 3 cool does. But I think 2 neutral, I think that's good. All right. 101 BK Beauty Brush. Looks about the same. Looks about the same. Yeah, I think it looks about the same with the brush or the sponge. So, apply it as you like, I guess. I don't see any streaks. I don't see any like pores looking weird or anything like that. Any of you that haven't watched my channel before, I'm 49 years old and I have dry skin. and rosacea. So just to help you understand how this might work on me. Let's see, the main ingredient in here is water. And then apple. Oh, that's interesting. Apple fruit water. Huh, okay. Dimethicone, and then a whole bunch of things that I can't pronounce and don't know what they are. Not sure. It looks like mica is in here. That's interesting. Glycerin, lysine. There's a lot of things in here. I just don't know what they are. Dimethicone cross polymer. There's a lot. Flower water is like towards the end, but water, apple fruit water, and dimethicone are the first three. So that's interesting. It's technically Pyrus Malis, but then in parentheses it says apple. So for fruit water. So that's interesting. It feels fine. It feels nice. Doesn't feel uncomfortable. Feels moisturizing. You know, like I said, I have dry skin. I think it gives a beautiful coverage. I think this is the right shade. I don't think I need to go lighter. I don't feel a need for powder or anything. Okay, give me a minute. Let me do my brows, and then I'm gonna come back and we're just gonna take a look at it compared to these other foundations. These other two, the Estee Lauder and the Fenty, are favorites of mine. So let's take a look at how they kind of interact. So do my brows really quickly. Okay, we're back. Just took a minute just to put a little brow gel on my brows. All right, so let's take the new one, the Charlotte Tilbury. Let's just do a little pump. I'm gonna kind of leave it there, let it like hang down for a second. We're gonna take the Estee Lauder, and in the Estee Lauder I have shade 1N2, yeah, 1N2, and it's called Ecru. That's a lot darker, that's interesting. That kind of drip a little bit as well. You can see how much darker it is. I didn't realize it was that much darker. It's so interesting when you pull out all your foundations and realize that none of them are actually the same color. Okay, then the Fenty, and in the Fenty I have 170. Fenty Pro Filter. I really like this one. That's darker too. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? So fascinating. Like, and I wear them all. Okay, so the Fenty has more, I think it has like a little bit more watery feel, a little bit. The Estee Lauder is like creamier. It's the middle one. And the deepest, but it also has more of that like cool tone to it. And then the Charlotte Tilbury has more of a neutral tone to it. So if you look at these three shades, it's really interesting, right? Because I wear all three of these, and I would consider them all a good match for me, but they're all very different shades. So this is the Fenty, this is the Estee Lauder, and this is the new one, the Charlotte Tilbury. And what I'd say is that, you know, when you look at this, the finishes of these three are actually very similar. I don't notice a tremendous difference. Like they're medium, light to medium coverage. The Fenty is, when I feel it, it's a little more watery. Estee Lauder is a little bit creamier. And the new one, the Charlotte Tilbury, feels more like gel. Does that make any sense? Like it has more of like a gel-like feel. But really interesting skin tone. Like this one, the Estee Lauder, is one of my favorites. I really like that foundation. And when you put it against my face, I think that the Estee Lauder is actually the best representation of what the color of my skin is. But I think they all work. But I would say that the Charlotte Tilbury, too neutral, I would say it has a little bit, I'd say it's a true, well, I shouldn't say it's a true neutral. I think it's leaning a little warm, but it's like a peachy warm. So I don't think it's that bad. The three cool that I ordered is gonna be really interesting to see if it's more like this. The Estee Lauder is definitely more like a cool beige. And the Fenty, I think, is actually more of a peach. And I wear all three at various times. So really interesting about the shades. Okay. So I'm gonna let this sit for a while. I'm actually gonna be doing another video with a whole bunch of Dior stuff, which will also be up, don't worry. And then we'll come back because I wanna let this, I wanna see how it wears throughout the day. So I'll come back at like let's do like the 5-hour mark, 6-hour mark, and see how it looks. You know, by the 10-hour mark, I can't really do 10 hours. With my job, it doesn't really, can't do that. But 5 or 6 hours I can usually do. And I can tell you already, it feels really nice. Like it feels very comfortable on the skin. And it gives a really nice finish, a light medium finish. There's not full coverage or medium coverage even, because you can see my broken capillaries here because I have rosacea. But it's so like muted that you really can't tell. It's not that bad. I would say in a magnifying mirror, absolutely you can see it, but because I have one in front of me. But just face to face, as we're talking, I don't think you'd notice it. So I think for an everyday makeup, this is excellent. Feels comfortable, feels good. Not like, you know, like creating more lines than I already have. Yeah, so far so good. And like I said, I think the two, although obviously very different from some of the other foundations I wear, I think is a good shade match for me. I just think if you are a true cool, like a very light skin tone like mine, and your skin definitely has more of like a pink undertone, like everywhere, not just your face, this might be a little too warm, but there isn't a 2 cool or a 1 cool. It's 1N, 2N, and then a 3 cool. So it'll be really interesting to see what the 3 cool is like, but I don't have it yet. But I promise, as soon as I do, I'll do swatch comparisons for you. All right, so let's go spend 5 or 6 hours, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about, you know, how the foundation wears and what I think. All right, be back soon. Okay guys, we're back. We have a full face of makeup on. This is some more of the Dior spring collection. Hopefully you'll check that video out if you're interested in Dior, and some comparisons, and the new mineral powder, mineral glow powder, and the blush stick is in that video as well. So what I would say about the foundation. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is there's some glitter on my skin. That's not the foundation's fault, okay? You have to watch the other video. But the foundation has held up extraordinarily well. Like, really, really well. I'm very impressed. Got like weird things on my face, but it's been a long day. But yeah, it does. It looks really good. It looks basically the same as when I put it on, which is saying something. I do have dry skin, so you know my skin doesn't. I don't really get like oily spots where like I lose foundation. That's not usually my issue. Usually things get into lines. That's my issue. This hasn't done that yet. It's, you know, about 5 or 6 hours. So I don't know, maybe at the 8-hour mark it would, but you know, okay. Yeah, I really like this. It feels very hydrating. It feels very comfortable. It looks beautiful. It's a light to medium finish. I really, really, I don't know what the heck that is. I really, really like this. Like I said, some of the makeup has started to, you know, smudge and stuff, guys. Sorry, it's been several hours. But yeah, I think it's lovely. I'm very impressed with my first try of this. So again, this is 2 neutral. I am going to get the 3 cool someday, maybe. And when I do, I will put up a swatch comparison on Instagram, and I might even do like a Reels or a short video with 3 on one side and 2 on the other, if you guys would be interested in that. Some of you have similar skin tone to what I have and might be interested in seeing the 3 cool versus the 2 neutral. Happy to do it if that's of interest. Because I bought it. It's coming anyway. So, but I think this works. I think 2 neutral works. I don't think it's too dark. It's interesting when I compared it to the Estee Lauder and the Fenty, it's actually lighter in tone. But the undertone is warmer than those other 2. But again, I mean, you know, rarely do you find an exact match in another foundation. It's, you know, foundations are very complicated because not only are you dealing with tones and undertones and shades and all kinds of other things. So I think this works well for me. I really like it. I do think it neutralizes actually a lot of the pink in my skin. I think it works well. We'll see what the 3 cool is like, hopefully soon. But I would say my final remarks on it right now is that I think it's extremely good. Absolutely worth buying. I really, really like it. It is the first Charlotte Tilbury foundation, full foundation, that I've liked. maybe even loved. I do have the Light Wonder, which I do really like, but that on me is almost like a tinted, you know, it's like a tinted glow. I really like it and I use it all the time, but I haven't liked any of the Charlotte Tilbury foundations until this one. So for me, it's absolute win, and I would say it's worth it. Like I said, though, I think the tricky part is the shade match, just from what I've seen. But I think I did okay, because I think this works. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon.